Jersey Public Television.
This is Channel 50, WNJM, serving northern New Jersey from Montclair.
This is the New Jersey News Report for Wednesday, January 5th. I'm Kent Manahan.
And I'm Jeffrey Hall. Good evening. An explosion ripped through a small embroidery plant in Fairview in Bergen County today, killing one person and injuring 4 others. Betty Adams reports.
The intersection of Main Street and John in Fairview is a shambles. Broken glass carpeting the streets, windows out, and a yawning hole that once was the Abbey Embroidery Factory. Flames still licked at the edges of what's left of the structure 5 hours after the pre-dawn explosion. That blast leveled the factory, burned 2 adjacent houses, and blew out windows for a 6 square block area. Mrs. Alice DiMarzio lives 2 houses from the factory. What were you doing when the explosion happened?
I had just gotten back in bed again, and the old glass came down on me. I grabbed my husband, and the fellow downstairs ran up and carried him out for me, because he's sick. And we ran out.
What did it look like when you got out in the street?
What it looked like? The whole sky was lit up. It was terrible. I don't know. I can't explain it.
How much damage to your house?
I don't know. I wasn't in it. I didn't go up. They wouldn't let me in. I had no clothes. My husband has no clothes.
Did you smell any gas?
Well, when we were coming out of the house, when the windows went through, then we got the gas. The smell was terrible. I was choking. I still smell it and taste it.
Detective Maxwell, you were first on the scene. What did you find?
Well, at approximately 4:50 this morning, I was approximately 400 feet away. I saw the explosion. I called for the ambulance. It was just a ball of fire here. That's all it was. It was a ball of fire. The other 2 buildings went on fire. I was assisted by another patrolman, Patrolman Blunt, who carried the men out of the building, as many people as we could. Our ambulances responded. We called out our fire engines.
Have you any idea what caused the explosion?
We believe right now it was gas. A gas explosion.
So isn't it kind of unusual for people to be in a factory at that hour?
No, the embroidery is usually open that time of morning. They set up their work for the day. They opened up approximately 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning. It's a routine.
One body was found in the rubble of the factory. It's believed to be that of Frances Hoffman, wife of Max Hoffman, the owner of the embroidery factory. I'm told that the smell of gas was reported in this neighborhood yesterday, and PSE&G sent out work crews to repair what was thought to be a leak in the gas main. They were not able to complete that work yesterday. In Fairview, I'm Betty Adams for New Jersey News.
And the owner of the plant, Max Hoffman, was burned in the explosion. As Betty reported, he is reported in critical condition.
Another oil tanker registered in Liberia ran aground in the Delaware today. No oil was spilled this time, and the ship was refloated when the high tide came in. The 824-foot ship Universe Leader ran aground when it had to swing out of the river channel to avoid a collision with another tanker. The Coast Guard today had to pump out some of the oil onto barges to get the ship afloat again. Well, no oil was spilled, and the tanker continued on its way to the Gulf Oil docks near Marcus Hook, Pennsylvania. Well, Public Service Electric and Gas says that it will reopen its nuclear generating plant in Salem County later this week. The plant was shut down on Monday after more than 2,000 gallons of low-level radiation water leaked from a pipe in the unit. Well, none of the employees there were exposed to the radiation. The plant was the site of a tour today. Dick Minton reports.
The tour was arranged for Governor Byrne and the press. The governor was snowbound in Washington and was given a private tour later. Assemblyman Martin Herman arranged it. He feels many of the safety procedures, like an evacuation plan in the event of a disaster, should have been approved before the plant was started up.
What I want to accomplish today is to make the governor aware of what some of the potential problems may be. What are the area of concerns, because the concerns of the citizens of Salem County in this given situation will certainly be the concerns of citizens in other areas where these facilities may be located in the future. And I think his coming here is certainly, in my opinion, a show of overall state concern for citizen safety, as well as to assure that what hopefully will be of great benefit to the citizens of New Jersey will not also be of great detriment. And I think his visit can do that here today.
A public hearing on the safety procedures here at the Salem Generating Plant is going to be held in Lower Alloway Township on Monday. Company officials have said on the tour today that they are interested in compassionately meeting and providing answers for all of the objections and all of the questions that might be raised about safety procedures here at the generating plant. This is Dick Minton reporting for New Jersey News.
More than 1,000 dead birds have been found in a cornfield in Cape May County. Scientists believe they fed on a toxic substance sprayed on the corn that is designed to kill only blackbirds. But a variety of species were killed, including hawks, doves, cardinals, sparrows, and a handful of ducks. Hunters in the area are warned not to eat any game birds they may have shot for fear they too might be contaminated. School officials in Monmouth County's Howell Township say plans have been made to remove the asbestos ceilings in 6 elementary schools. The ceilings have been labeled a potential cause of cancer by state officials. Assistant School Superintendent Walter Letowski told Dave Straker of the latest plans.
Well, tomorrow, demolition work will start in 4 of the schools. Crews will be into 4 schools simultaneously and will be taking down the asbestos ceilings. And they estimate that will be completed within a week.
And schools to be opened?
Well, we have 2 that will open on Thursday because, to our knowledge, they have no asbestos in them. We have 8 schools altogether. The other 2 that are unaccounted for have small amounts of asbestos in them. Now, we have no specifications drawn for these as yet, so the architect is drawing those now. As soon as those specifications are complete, we'll be going out on quotes. So hopefully, within a couple of weeks, those also will be ready to go.
What is the anticipated final cost of the demolition work?
Well, approximately $30,000 to remove the asbestos ceilings and bury them in a designated place that's certified as safe. And the repair we don't know yet because we have no specifications drawn. We have only guesstimates of how much it'll cost. Because we're talking about 40,000 plus square feet of ceiling that must be replaced.
At least 1 student in the 4,500 pupil school district has become ill, reportedly because of asbestos fibers in the air. While the parents of children attending the Howell Township schools are worried over the asbestos scare, some of those same parents have been facing a different health crisis for months. A small section in the middle of that Monmouth County community has had to put up with contaminated water since last spring. Silver nitrate from a nearby chemical recycling firm polluted the shallow wells of the local residents, and this resulted in the hospitalization of at least 1 individual. Today, Dave Straker visited that area and filed this report.
Since October, about 15 families here have been drinking water brought in by tanker and some in bottles. Now, although the State Department of Environmental Protection says the contamination is on the decline, the people are still wary of their water supply.
Well, we still have 13 homes that are being restricted as to their water consumption. I feel that the situation is dissipating, but we never know if it may recur again. We have to be prepared for recurrence of this event.
What are officials of the town of Howell doing to protect people in this area?
At the present time, all we can do is supply them with clean drinking water, which is being done through the bottled water. We are negotiating to purchase the Adelphi Water Company, and if that doesn't become a reality soon, we may speak to the owner of the Adelphi Water Company towards extending the water line down to this area. This happens to be in his franchise area.
Presently, our water is being delivered in gallon jars and cases, and we also have an auxiliary tank outside that we get water out of for bathing and those kind of purposes.
Well, as far as you know, the DEP said about a month ago that the water was good and could be used for anything except cooking and bathing. Do you trust the water now?
Well, actually, I don't trust the water for anything yet, since our water still has a very large chemical odor to it when it's taken out of the tap. So we're still using all the auxiliary methods instead of our drinking water, our own drinking water.
How has your life changed since the pollution was first discovered late last summer?
Well, I'd say that the last 5 months have been a nightmare, for one thing. And it definitely has changed our lives to the fact that it's come to a standstill. We haven't been able to conduct our business as we've been in the past. I've been a general contractor for a number of years, and without being able to work, why the business has fallen off to a standstill.
At this time, the people of Howell say they are still worried. The waste matter from the recycling plant is being trucked away, but some of it falls off the trucks, it discolors the ground, and it brings the threat of more contamination when the snow melts and the chemicals seep into the ground. Now, even if the contamination ceases, state officials say it will be a long time before the natural well water here is free from contamination. In Howell, Dave Straker for New Jersey News.
Teachers walked off the job today in the Absecon School District near Atlantic City, and contract talks broke off in South Brunswick with no progress reported. Classes were called off for 1,100 students in 2 Absecon elementary schools. The 60 teachers are demanding a contract clause that would allow binding arbitration in future contract disputes. And in South Brunswick, the 400 teachers who have been out since Monday were served with a back-to-work order, but officials report that no teachers returned immediately. And in another job action, off-duty police officers in the Cumberland County community of Bridgeton have dropped their picket lines and will resume negotiations. The policemen have put up roadside pickets since Monday. The Bridgeton City Council late last night agreed to resume contract talks that ended in the middle of last month.
The head of the FBI in New Jersey says he's in favor of casino gambling in Atlantic City. Louis Giovanetti thinks it will do a great deal to revitalize that shore resort, even though he's aware organized crime figures are already moving into the area. Well, today, Betty Adams asked him if that means he'll need more FBI agents in Atlantic City.
Well, we're anticipating doing just that. I have made a recommendation to our Washington headquarters that we add 2 additional agents to our staff, our present staff at Atlantic City, for just that purpose, and I have every expectation that we will be adding 2 in the very near future.
If a person who has associations with so-called organized crime buys property in Atlantic City, there's not much the FBI could do about that, though.
No. As long as it was done in a legal, proper manner, there's absolutely nothing that we could do.
What would you be watching out for, then?
Well, we're watching at this point more or less from an intelligence standpoint so that we can provide the proper state authorities with the intelligence that we are receiving from throughout the country as to what groups or what individuals are vying for position at this early point in time so that they then can take whatever action they deem necessary.
Giovanetti says he sees nothing wrong with gambling so long as state lawmakers write stiff regulatory legislation to control it.
Prices on the New York Stock Exchange dropped again today, continuing the weak New Year's showing so far. Volume totaled 25 million shares in active trading. The Dow Jones average closed down almost 10 points at 978, and an average share of common stock lost 29 cents. Well, the latest development in the coffee price story is a call for congressional investigation into the skyrocketing prices. Brooklyn Congressman Fred Richmond on the Agriculture Committee charges the coffee-producing nations with exploiting other countries, and he wants a full-scale investigation. Coffee drinkers in New Jersey must also feel exploited, but as Betty Adams found out, they are reacting in different ways.
The high cost of a coffee break may make it less than a break in the days ahead. Wholesale prices of some brands are already about $2.90 a pound, or said another way, what used to retail at $1.29 a pound a year and a half ago is expected to cost well over $3 as soaring wholesale prices are passed on to consumers. What happened? Well, the coffee importers blame the new increases on a freeze that destroyed almost all of Brazil's crop for this year, plus civil war in Angola when coffee exports stopped completely, plus either too much rain or not enough in other coffee-producing countries. The result, a boycott is brewing, a boycott of America's top-selling beverage. Commissioner Long, can a consumer's boycott actually bring prices down of coffee or any other product?
Well, I think a boycott, if it is sustained, can bring prices down, but it's got to be sustained in a non-fresh product. In other words, if it were meat, a short boycott would be very effective. With coffee, it is important for it to be over a long period of time so that the coffee piles up on the docks and the producers and the wholesalers understand what's happening.
The Stage Door Deli in Newark does a land office business in takeout orders and in-house orders at both breakfast and lunchtime. Coffee now costs 25 cents a cup plus a penny tax. Mr. Zimmer, wholesale coffee prices are going up. Your prices will probably go up. What is that going to mean in terms of what you charge your customers?
Well, we just raised our prices a nickel more in a container, and we're still holding firm in the dining room, same price. Our coffee is $3.10 a pound. As of last Monday, we're paying wholesale.
Do you think you'll be able to hold the price for the customers you're now charging?
As far as outgoing, no, but inside they'll still get the same price at 25 cents plus penny tax.
Do you think people in New Jersey are going to boycott coffee?
No, they're not.
Why?
Because coffee is part of America, and they love their coffee, and they spend 70 cents for a pack of cigarettes today, which they said they would never. They'll spend it.
A coffee boycott in New Jersey is only just getting underway because consumers have not yet felt the full impact of the soaring prices and wholesale costs. As for me, I'll continue to enjoy while I can still afford it. In Newark, I'm Betty Adams for New Jersey News.
With today's soaring coffee prices, you may be hard-pressed to find a good 5-cent cup of coffee, but you don't have to go any further than the Fireplace Diner in Edison to find a good 10-cent cup of coffee. Many restaurants charge as much as 40 cents for a cup. Dave Straker had a dime, so he stopped in for a cup of coffee. He asked the manager why he advertises this outdated price.
Well, we're trying to get the people to come into here to see where they can get coffee for 10 cents, you know, because where could you get coffee and like a steak for 10 cents, you know, like 89 cents is for a steak sandwich and a cup of coffee, so you can't get that nowhere else.
If coffee prices go much higher, do you think you will have to raise the price of that 10-cent cup of coffee?
Well, we'll have to raise it, yeah, but it won't be much. You know,
15 cents then?
It'll probably go up to there. Well, it's 20 cents to go out right now because we're paying for the cups and all that to go, but it won't go up too much more because, you know, it's bringing in business for us.
Enter any supermarket and you'll see the price of coffee nearing $3 a pound. But at least at the Fireplace Diner, you can still have a 10-cent cup of coffee. And here at New Jersey Public Television, you can still have a 2-bit sports announcer. Here's Ron Goldie. Ron?
The price is going up. Some more football honors were handed out today by United Press International. Pittsburgh Steelers middle linebacker Jack Lambert and Chicago Bears tackle Wally Chambers have been named Defensive Players of the Year. Well, the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers meet the Nittany Lions of Penn State tonight. Dick Landis is there with this report.
With me is Bob Smith, the Sports Information Director here at Rutgers. And Bob his office has compiled a rather lengthy dissertation on all the undefeated teams, 3 undefeated teams, and some other great seasons over the last couple of years. Bob, it seems that Rutgers right now is really riding high in the undefeated category. What is it people like to know about these teams when they're winning?
Dick, there's not a great deal that's hidden among our undefeated teams. For instance, last year when we had the great basketball season, everything was wide open, and I have to admire Tom Young as a coach for allowing the number of writers to come in and meet the players almost any day. Now, of course, he did have some restrictions during the game day, but more often than not, he let writers, people come in to see practice, talk to the players. And the one thing I think that people may not know about an undefeated season is that the great pressures that are on the athletes, unbelievable pressure to maintain the winning streak as we did last year, 31 games in basketball. And of course this year in football, the same kind of pressure is on the football players. And Frank Burns, again, did not try to screen his players from the press or from the public. The third undefeated team, of course, was the women's swimming team, Dick, and I know that we probably didn't do as much for them as we did for football and basketball, but that was a tremendous achievement also.
Well, you guys have been busy, I know that.
Frank Elm had a 16-woman squad, finished first in the East and 15th in the nation, and of course now, currently, is running a 23 contest winning streak. They have not lost since the team was originated.
Well, Bob, you've put together quite an interesting packet here of all the stats and so forth, and it has been a great year, a great couple of years here at Rutgers, and maybe it'll continue. We thank you, Bob, very much. Ron Golnick, back to you.
Mercer County Community College of suburban Trenton, ranked nationally earlier in the season, heads south to compete in the Pensacola News Journal Tournament. The Vikings have lost 2 of 8 games, an oddity for Mercer. They're not used to losing, but Coach Howie Landa feels the team is finally on the right track.
I think that they're learning their whereabouts on the court. Andre Logan is one of our outstanding players, and
was a little scared at first coming out of high school, and now I think that with Andre and Lonnie Leggett, our honorable mention All-American and possible All-American this year, I think that we basically are coming on strong because of the fact that these kids have worked hard, and I think the fans are really going to see some good basketball coming from Mercer County Community College, where our fast break is there, the rebounding's there, and I just look forward to a good season now.
Dave Butler of Burlington County Community College is currently second in the nation in scoring. He's averaging over 35 points a game. I talked with Dave the other day and asked him if all those points would help land a scholarship to a four-year school.
Well, I think it helps as far as when the national lists come out, the schools see who are leading the nation. And the recognition factor of just the four-year schools finding out who you are helps.
Dave, what are you going through right now? Do you have a lot of four-year coaches contact you, a tough decision to make, a lot of pressure?
Well, it's starting now. I really kind of like it right now because I'm not used to it. But I haven't gotten any really firm offers. I've talked to a lot of schools, but nothing's firm yet.
Of course, Burlington County College is not a national power. Do you think that if you went to Mercer or another junior college power, you would have gained more recognition?
Well, sure, maybe more national recognition at Mercer because they're in the spotlight all the time. But the reason I went to Burlington was I wanted to have some fun. I went to a four-year school, and I didn't have that much fun. So I left, and I came to Burlington, and I'm having some fun there. I think that's more important, really.
But that's got to change when you go to a four-year school where it becomes more serious.
Well, yeah, that's true. There's more pressure on you. There's more money involved in the whole thing. They're going to pay. If they're going to pay for my schooling, then I should have to perform. But right now, it's just fun.
Keep an eye on Dave Butler. He should be a good one. That's it in sports. Now back to Jeff.
Thank you, Ron. Opticians in New Jersey will have to wait and see if the Attorney General thinks it's okay for them to advertise the price of glasses. The Director of Consumer Affairs has asked for the ruling to clarify a recent U.S. Supreme Court decision. That law said it was not illegal to advertise prescription drug prices. The question that needs clarifications are eyeglasses prescription drugs. John Horn, the acting commissioner of Labor and Industry, wants employees of a Sayreville paint manufacturing plant to end an 11-month walkout and return to work. Over 1,000 workers at NL Industries walked off their jobs last February over a contract dispute. Horn wants their union to accept a fact finder's recommendations. Assembly Minority Leader Thomas Kean says the Assembly's legislative record last year was dismal. Kean says the lower house was convened more times than ever in recent years, but accomplished very little. The only bill of merit enacted in 1976, he said, was the Oil Spill Liability Fund.
Well, the events of the 10 crucial days are now history, and unless additional funding is made available, the commission which put together the happenings during those days will soon be history too. But Dave Earling, project director of the New Jersey Bicentennial Committee, is hoping that that won't happen. He told Paul Springle that he wants to go on, and there's still a lot to do.
Well, just taking this year, in 77, October of 1977 will be the 200th anniversary of the battle at Fort Mercer at Red Bank, which was a major battle of importance, not only from the standpoint of the fight for the Delaware and keeping the British back, but also because of some of the people that were involved. We've just gone through 10 days of large troops battling one another, but at Red Bank, I think you had 600 Americans holding off an entire Hessian army of about 3,000, and they actually defeated them from the heights of Red Bank. Major significance, the Battle of Monmouth coming up in June of '78, the last major battle between the British and American forces in the North prior to the shift of the war to the South. Battle of Springfield in 1780. There are any number of other, not maybe major battles, but events of significance that took place across the state of New Jersey.
The commission estimates that more than 50,000 people saw the events of the 10 crucial days here in New Jersey alone, and thousands more across the country. Well, tonight at 10:30, Paul Springle and I will be talking with Dave Earling in a special retrospective look at those 10 crucial days. A collection of album quilts at the Squibb Gallery in Princeton is adding a domestic sidelight to the New Jersey's continuing bicentennial celebration. Nearly 200 residents from surrounding Mercer County communities work thousands of hours on these quilts. The works represent historic sites and local landmarks, ranging from our colonial heritage to contemporary events. Album quilts are made up of numerous blocks harmonized together into a larger theme. These treasures depicting the many aspects of American life will be on display until Sunday. Next on display, our own Rich Katz with the weather. Rich?
And I'll display a big toothy grin, because what else can you do when you miss, right? Okay. The storm that we expected in this evening is just about in our area, just to the south of the state, and some light snow falling from it. This socked in Washington, D.C. earlier and dropped quite a bit of snow in Virginia, but we'll get very little out of it. The extreme southern portion of the state may get an inch to an inch and a half, but that's about it. The rest of the state, just some flurries. The secondary storm down in the Gulf did not form. It is starting to form now, and that could give us a little snow tomorrow night, but we'll have to wait and see on that. As far as today's temperatures, the only place in the state that made it up to freezing was Newark. Everyone else right around 30. And the air quality was generally unsatisfactory, with only the western portions reporting acceptable air quality. So for tonight, in the south, look for some light snow, possibilities of an inch to an inch and a half in the extreme southern portions, but for the north, generally mostly cloudy and maybe a light snow flurry or two. Temperatures dropping down into the lower 20s. For tomorrow, a partly cloudy day with some increase late in the afternoon and evening, temperatures 35 to 40. And then on Thursday, snow coming in out of that cloudiness, turning over to rain in the afternoon once the highs get up into the mid-30s after a low of about 20. After that, another sunny day, cloudy day. It looks like we're in for a lot of fast changes over the next few days, and we'll just have to stand by and grin and bear it. And that's the weather.
And that's the news for tonight. Coming up right after the Pickett Lottery drawing, the Rutgers-Penn State basketball game. Have a good evening.